Hello, my name is Seva Katritch, and I am computational chemist, computational biologist at USC. Here is a background, very briefly. I just wanted to point to 7 years I spent in biotech, so I'm familiar with both industry and academia side. My research is focused on G-protein coupled receptors, or GPCRs. I was lucky to participate in structural revolution over the last 15 years, where structures of more than 120 GPCRs were solved. Why GPCR are so important? Because they're involved in all the major systems in our bodies and a range of disease from reproductive to mental to immune to cancer. And not surprisingly, more than a quarter of all drugs on market, they target GPCRs, not to mention illicit drugs of abuse. My lab is developing computational tools for molecular modeling of GPCRs to understand structure, function, and pharmacology. And some examples include machine learning for stabilizing GPCR mutants and applications of structures to understanding mechanism of GPCR activation, signaling bias, elastin complexes, and discovery of conserved sodium as a key signaling cofactor of GPCRs. And this is translated into rational design of ligands for drug discovery. Some of the recent ongoing design projects include covalent antidotes for opioid overdose, 82 angiotensin agonist for protection against COVID, prediction of autism mutations, design of bitopic ligands for sodium site in class A GPCRs, photoswitchable ligands for cannabinoid receptors, and design of GPCR in vivo sensors. The most exciting developments in the last couple of years was development of tools for virtual ligand screening for lead and drug discovery in giga to tera scale readily available or real libraries. The current applications of virtual screening is limited to only a few millions of compounds, but the invent of real libraries where hundreds of optimized reactions are applied to hundreds of thousands of building blocks gives rise to so-called real space, which is currently more than 10 billion compounds, and extension to tangible building blocks goes up to all the way up to 10 to 15 compound space. So these libraries are virtual, but they are real in the sense that all the compounds can be synthesized in 4 or 5 weeks with 80% success rate, maintaining drug likeness and diversity. And if a heat found in this real space, it can be easily optimized to lead and drugs, staying in the same space for easy synthesis. Now, the real bottleneck currently is the computational cost of this initial screening that can run up to $1 million and even more for growing space. So we developed a new vSynthesis approach, virtual synthon hierarchical enumeration screening, which is more than 1,000 times faster. It's scalable to 10 to 15 compounds. We already used it to identify nanomolar leads for cannabinoid receptor CB2 and ROCK kinase, and this was published in Nature earlier this year. So how vSynthesis works, very briefly, it compresses the whole chemical space into a minimal enumeration library, which is docked, and the fragments from this library selected for further enumeration and then redocked, and this allows to select candidate hit for experimental testing. Compared to standard ways of drug discovery, where it takes a few years and several $1 million to find the lead, using a lot of custom synthesis as well, our vSynthesis approach takes only a few months, much fewer compounds, and all of them synthesized in parallel synthesis. And this can be applied, is applied already to a number of targets, including 8 ongoing projects. We further developed vSynthesis, so the new version is fully automated, scales up to 10 to 15 compounds, and we applied to a number of other targets in collaboration with labs at Keck Medicine of USC, other universities. We commercialize it with ChemSpace, Eterna, and Special Biosciences. And we invite academic collaboration and commercial licensing of this technology. Thank you.